How's everything going so far, Jess?
Yeah, really enjoying it over here. It's nice that the sun's out today. We just had a really good training session and ready to go for practice game 2 tomorrow.
And what did you make of the practice game yesterday?
Yeah, it was a good way to get a bit of cobwebs out for us. It was nice to actually be able to get out there, even though it was a shortened game. I think we were still able to get out of it what we wanted. Bowlers got some good loads in and the batters got to spend some good time out in the middle as well. So still plenty to improve on in the next match, but I think that's the beauty of practice matches. You can sort of get a feel of where you're at and get used to the conditions.
And yeah, for you personally, were you happy with how you bowled yesterday?
Yeah, the ball felt like it was coming out really well. Sort of was a wicket that didn't really have a lot of bounce to it as well. So I think we found that when we bowled into the wickets and at the stumps, that was sort of pretty effective, and that sort of stuck to my game plan pretty well. And yeah, it was nice to sort of get some overs out there, especially in the cold weather, sort of get the fingers used to working in cool weather.
And any particular things the team's going to be looking to improve on tomorrow?
I think for us, fielding would be one of them. We dropped a couple of catches and sort of let a little bit go on the ground as well. But in saying that, I think we all knew sort of where we sort of went wrong, and maybe a little bit tightening up our lines at some point. But I think, yeah, we got out of it definitely what we wanted to. And yeah, I think everyone's just enjoying being out there and actually playing games again.
And after a bit of a roller coaster of a summer, how important was that New Zealand series for your confidence?
Yeah, it was huge. I think for me it almost felt like the start of the season in some ways, that it was the first international games that I was actually able to get out there and play, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think that probably showed in my performances a little bit, that I was actually enjoying my time and just sort of taking each day and enjoying what I was doing. And that's something that you can easily get caught up in sometimes, that there's the pressure, and then there's also the perceived pressure as well. So it was nice to actually get out there and perform for the team.
And coming back to England, you've played here a bit. How much does that help to adjust to the conditions?
Yeah, I think I was saying it's almost my 5th or 6th time being here, and you still take a little bit of time, probably about a week or so, to get used to it. But these days we're really well looked after, and we've got some pretty awesome facilities around the grounds. And it's sort of, I think yesterday was a bit of a typical English day that a lot of us sort of stereotypically think that the English will be. That's sort of cold and a little bit cloudy and rainy. So today's a different story, a bit of the sun out. So I think especially on the rainy days, you almost just have to expect to play. And over here, they almost play in some conditions that we're not used to back home in terms of the coolness of the weather. But I think everybody just knows it's a game bat v ball, and we just get on with our business.
And do you come here with some pretty fond memories of the last Ashes campaign?
Yeah, it's obviously a long time ago now, and each series is different. But it sort of gives me a bit of confidence knowing that I've had a few good performances in the English conditions in the past, and I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't look back on those times and sort of try and replicate those in a way. But in saying that, we've obviously got a really strong side all up, and we're coming up against a really strong and informed English setup as well. So I think we sort of can't take anything for granted and can't really look too much into the past, because each series is going to be different.
And do you feel like your role's changed a bit, especially in the spin group, now that you're the most senior member of that attack?
Yeah, I'm looking to try and take on a bit more of a senior role in that sense, and a bit of a mentor role with the younger spinners coming through. And I guess in terms of like a bit more tactical or planning sort of purposes as well. And it's obviously really good having Shelley part of the group as well, someone who's played a lot of cricket for her country. And I think for me personally, being a left arm spinner as well, I really take a lot out of that. And I think in terms of out on the field, I haven't really changed my role within the team in that sense, but it's probably more of an off-field role with the spin group that I'm looking to keep extending.
Yeah, I saw you talking to Georgia a bit today. What sort of stuff do you try to work on with the younger bowlers?
Yeah, we sort of have different technical aspects throughout the season that we sort of try and bring into some training sessions sometimes, as well as then switching on and switching off between technique mode and game mode. So whether it's a matter of that we're just in the contest right now, or we're thinking crease position or arm position or things like that. And sort of behind the closed doors, we sort of have a bit of a chat about the opposition and grounds that I may have played at that she hasn't played at yet. So just little things like that I look to try and help out wherever I can.
And I noticed there's a bit of a focus on bowling at the right-handers for you and Georgia today. What's the thinking there?
Yeah, well, both England A and the England side don't have a left-handed batter, so we try and get as many balls at the right-handed batters as possible. But when we don't, we sort of make note that we're still trying to hit our areas against the left-handers, but that part of the session's almost for our batters then, that they're obviously going to come up against the likes of Sophie Eccleston or Kirsty Gordon or players like that across the setup. So we've got to make sure we're looking out for them as well, that they're getting their loads against left-handers.
And how impressed have you been with the way that Georgia's settled in at this level?
Yeah, she's been great. I think she's got a really good work ethic, and I think that really poses really well in our setup. And she's always looking to learn, both like her and Tay, and I think they're just really excited that they're part of this group over here in the UK, somewhere that they've never been before, and I think they're just thriving off every moment that they're a part of it.
And given what you said about England's all right batting lineup, does that make you and Georgia feel like you could play a particularly big role with the ball in this series?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will be potentially vital at some points with the ball going away, and we've sort of identified in some of the stats that that's actually a benefit for us. And I think for us as a side, full stop, we've got the versatility in all of our bowlers. We've got in-swing bowlers, outswing, left hand, right hand. So I think we've done a lot of planning in terms of matchups against what batters prefer, which types of bowling, and who gets out to what most. So hopefully we can play a key part and keep these Ashes in Australia.